Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account and it is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to you if you are a father or your father if that is the case. Now overall guys, we've been making a lot of progression. We actually pushed into chapter 49, which I've never seen before. I want to continue the push into chapter 50 and I do like to do the Q&A. Now the question and answer part of it, a lot of players do join us for this because I want to have the ability to actually go through and chat with you guys about AFK Arena. Now, overall, guys, there is a brand new code. If you did not see, I put it up in chat. There is a brand new code. We do get a couple diamonds, a little bit of resources. So overall, pretty nice to see that we do have a new code in here. As we continue to build, we know we have the new Wilder hero that is going to be coming up with the patch on Tuesday. So Monday, we will get the notes, and then Tuesday, we will get the actual hero up. Overall, on the test server, not seeing a ton of utility for the hero, which has been kind of a good thing, honestly, because when you look at the unofficial announcement of the awakened version of Sophia that is going to be coming, and again, it's in the notes, the names are there. We haven't seen the official release from Lilith saying that it is going to be Sophia, but it says that the maestro of something, I forget exactly what it is, but essentially most players are saying, including AFK Inside, Reddit, Discord, things of that nature, that Sophia is confirmed as the new awakened hero, which means we still have the Wilders and we still have the Graveborn left, guys. If they give another support hero for the Wilders, it's going to be kind of crazy to keep them all in one faction, but I'm wondering if they're going to do Shamira. This is really the big question that everybody has kind of had, is Shamira going to get the awakened version, and how, if Sophia is going to be another mage, if they keep her the mage, is she going to have kind of a variation or some different kind of discrepancy versus the awakened version of Belinda? And that's what a lot of people have kind of said, is it going to be the same hero, just in a mage version? So let's see, guys. We have Mucker here, JJP, Major is here, Ryan, Brian, and Memo came to say hi. See you later. Happy Father's Day, guys. All right. So like I was saying earlier, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a little bit of progression in here. I definitely want to continue pushing in here. We do have the contest over with my guild, which means it's been a lot of fun. They're scoring points in different ways for going through and completing content within AFK Arena. So there's a bunch of us broken into different groups so we can make some progression in there. And look at that, big shout out, a 1-up. Look at the hippo. Thank you very much for the super chat, Ryan. That is awesome. And I love that they have a hippo. Furry Hippo Gaming, guys, it's a name that we came up with almost 20 years ago at this point, which is kind of incredible. Most of you know it was from my wife and I when we started dating, getting together, playing Rock Band in 2002. That is right, guys, 21 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think what's going on. That one guy, Ben, is here as well. All right, guys, so like I said, here we're just going to make some more progression. Overall, for hero development, most of the heroes that we have, I do want to do a couple summons in here because we want to finish out and get the avatar with Guineas. So have any of you, let me know in the comments, guys, if any of you have been using Guineas. We built them out. We got the signature item built up a little bit. We didn't have the engraving. So far, I'm not seeing any formations that are running Guineas. I'm a little bit disappointed with him being a Wilder or a light bearer tank, which we absolutely needed, considering we only have very, very limited heroes within this space. When it comes to the light bearers, we really have 3. Because Lucius, I don't really count. Sonya and Hendrik we do use. I thought Guineas was going to have a lot more utility in there. But unfortunately, we haven't seen it. Do want to use some diamonds. I want to build him because I think he is going to find a place within AFK Arena. So let's go ahead. We'll pop open our rare stones. We have 1 elite boom, which is a copy of Rain. Again, more food. And then 1 elite hero stone, which is Hogan. Not really much there. And look at that, Ben, another happy Father's Day all. A first member for 19 months. That is absolutely amazing, Ben. Thank you for all of the support. Finally caught a stream. Happy Father's Day. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, Major. And that's what a lot of players have been kind of saying is they're not seeing a lot of utility out of him. Now, I just need 2 more. I need 2 more copies. But my also thought is, do you guys have him built? That was my other question, is not just the hero itself, but where do you have that hero built up to really, I guess, create the viability with him? Is he going to require, and look at that, guys, a double right off the bat, which is Gideus. There it is. And that was kind of my thought. Like I was saying, is he going to require a very, very high build out to just kind of get him to I guess, like a usable utility? Or is he going to be a tank, unfortunately, that we're not going to see any utility for at all? Is another thing, you know, like I said, that a lot of players are talking about. But I would think that looking at him within the tower itself, just again because of the limited heroes we have in there, that we would see some utility with him. Problem is, there's so many priority heroes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Dominic, is there's so many heroes that have a priority. There's so many heroes that you want to build out. Gideus in the Lightbearer Tower just kind of took a back seat to everyone else, which I think is really what we're seeing here. Now, we did add him in here. Again, we're having our new Wilder hero that is coming pretty soon. We have our Greyborn heroes in there as well. But I wanted to get one more copy of him, which would be awesome. There's Tamris. We'll definitely take Tamris, guys. We have been building him up. Tamris is showing a lot of utility because of the 9 of 9 furniture. We have seen a lot with him in there. And there is a copy of Salakai. Salakai, another hero. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much play with him at all. Not built, to be fair, but I didn't like his trial, and the trial was super max. Yeah, and again, Ben, that's kind of my thought. It seems like, there we go. We don't even have to summon for him. That means we don't have to use our diamonds. That was what I was hoping. I did pick up another copy of the original version of Aziz. Now, in the shops, guys, I am almost done with everybody. Literally, it is almost, I have Alna now that they added Alna. One more copy of Aziz, and then it is going to be copies of Mortis, and that will be it. What's going on, Moneymaker? So what's up with the Dwarf Dude? No, and that's it. Midnight's Oblivion. It doesn't seem like he has a ton of utility, which is kind of where we're getting stuck with him. It doesn't really seem like he is going to find a place or hasn't found a place. But always remember, guys, when you look at, and my biggest example in this one is when you look at Queen, when you look at Joker and Queen, Queen had zero utility for almost 6 months. That is really one of the big ones. She had no utility for months and months and months before she finally found a place and was utilized within formations. So it could be another case like that where Gideus might take a while to catch on when people start getting him built, when the utility of him is really revealed from that aspect. Because again, there's been a lot of heroes, and even looking most recently with another big one, right here with Rain. So Rain, of course, most of you know, guys, Rain was my very first Ascended hero. So Rain was the hero that I got to the Ascension level first. I actually built her out to 5 stars. She was my first hero up to 5 stars. That was even long before we had signature items at that point. But now, with the rise and the resurgence of the Awakened version of Belinda, Rain is used in that formation all day long. Every single formation that has the Awakened version of Belinda, we are seeing Rain utilized within those formations. So again, a hero that a lot of players might not have built and a lot of new players might not build up, but she has a ton of utility within a couple different game modes. Just got him, everyone to Ascended, so like, yeah, I'm hoping Gideus finds a place, guys. Again, based on the hero, the limited tanks within the towers, I think it is honestly just going to take a while to get him to the point of kind of being recognized in formations. That's kind of my thought behind them. Demia, of course, is massive, guys. Demia is a hero that is used everywhere. We see her in every formation, in some type of the formation, whether it is the Twisted Realm now, the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor. Even players are running her within the Treasure Scramble. A lot of different places that we are absolutely building them. How far do I take Orthos and Morose? So the big thing with Orthos, guys, is Orthos needs the furniture. This is similar to Zolrath. This is the biggest thing. The 3 of 9 is really a big priority, Ben. And the 9 of 9 is better because right here, allies' haste is increased by 35 while moving during the time suspension. So if you're looking at the original version of Taylene, if you're looking at Matria, they are going to get a massive haste boost when this ability goes off. So 3 of 9 is good. 9 of 9 furniture for Orthos is absolutely amazing, which means, of course, they got to be at least ascended. I didn't build out any of the engraving on here because this one just gives you a little bit more damage, which again, I'm not really too worried about Orthos's damage, and I'm not worried about his crowd control ability because the big thing with him, guys, is of course the time stop. This time stop right here. Furniture on him is super important. Even when it comes to the signature item, this is pretty good for the plus 30 signature item because of that crowd control aspect in here, which again, I didn't build out the engraving because there are so many heroes to build, but this is pretty good to allow essentially the survivability of Orthos. So what happens with him, Ben, is we see Orthos die out pretty quick if you don't have him built. So that's really the big thing. Needs that 9 of 9 furniture, needs a signature item. If you put engraving on him, wouldn't make a huge difference. But overall, he does have to survive, guys. If Orthos dies, then he doesn't make a difference. What's going on, Shady? Java is here as well. Javid! Oh my goodness, it is Javid. Javid is alive. I've been wondering where Javid has been. He's been offline for a little bit. I'm sure it's kind of the craziness of the world, but Javid is here. The code gave you resources and 600 diamonds. That's it. So there's not a lot with it, Moneymaker. Is it worth getting 1 copy of every Awakened Hero? Anonymous, honestly, I would not. The big thing with that is right now, Anonymous, is we have so many Awakened Heroes. And when you look at the normal version of the Awakened Heroes or getting an Awakened Hero, you're usually talking 50, 60, 70 cards to go through and get 1 copy of every Awakened Hero. You're going to be burning through all your cards, and then you're going to have absolutely no one built. Is there any chance Awakened Sophia? Yes, I hope that the Awakened version of Sophia would be amazing if the Awakened version of Sophia did come out to be. And I'm gonna just farm through here while we're going. If the Awakened version of Sophia came out to be support, I think that would be absolutely crazy. 60 Kanisa and Rook or Demia. I would go with Demia just because again, Kanisa and Rook, we're not seeing as much utility right now with Kanisa and Rook. Do you have a team in the campaign using Rem? Yes, Geo Gaming. So Rem actually runs with the rest of the Hypo heroes. So Rem is relatively easy. I want to see if anyone's right there. So this is usually the formation, and I knew there would be some in here. This is usually the formation, Geo, that we use with Rem. So Amelia is going to provide the instant crowd control. We have the damage reduction right here from Merlin. And then, of course, the boost right here from Melbeto, as well as Jones immunity. But this is the battle that most players, or the team that most players are running. Boom, there's the crowd control right off the bat. Everyone's frozen. Everyone's getting energy. Rem's ultimate ability just crushes everybody just like that. It makes it incredibly easy. You're the boss. I gotta ask you, I have several of your vids about Awakened champs. I finally finished Swolus. What's my next? Yes, Belinda. Absolutely, Midnight's Oblivion. So when you look at the big picture of the Awakened heroes, the Awakened version of Belinda is used everywhere. She is literally in campaign formations, Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, and most of those comps that she is in, almost all of those comps are best in slot for the builds using the Awakened version of Belinda. Now, with that being said, guys, one big thing to remember, or one big thing to think about right now, is if you're building out a new hero, if you're building out the Awakened version of Belinda, I would probably wait to see how many cards. If you're sitting on 400 to 500 time emblems, go ahead and build out the Awakened version of Belinda because we know the utility. Now, with that being said, in kind of the caveat is knowing that there is going to be a new Awakened hero that is going to be coming up right now with the Awakened version of Sophia. If you do not have those cards, just wait. Just honestly wait to see what the new hero is going to bring, and then really move from there. They banned the. I figured something was happening, Javid. yeah, try the APK. So I actually, with this version, playing it on the computer for the test server, I have to use the APK Pure to download AFK Arena to play it through kind of a remote Google store. So that might work, Javid. Yeah, definitely try it. Yeah, I know. I've seen some crazy stuff out there. What's going on, Cream? I got my third Awaken built last week, as well as Resonance 9 of 9, or Pet Resonance 9. I've been considering hitting T100 in the Treasure Scramble. I have Tamarisk and Amelia. Who do I E30 first? Honestly, I would go with Tamarisk, Dominic. The big reason is Amelia works well with the E30, but Tamarisk does too. Tamarisk with the Enthusiasm ability. Tamarisk needs the E60. That's really, and let me see if we have another formation. Tamarisk with the E60, and I'll show you. Tamarisk is right here, or excuse me, not the E60. That's right, Tamarisk is E30. Tamarisk doesn't need the 60. I think that's, who do I E30 first? Yeah, E30 in here is pretty good. I would do Amelia. Sorry, I was thinking of the furniture. The E30 in here for Amelia. This is really good, guys. This is going to give the blessed zone outside of here, which is, of course, is going to be the energy. So I'm sorry, Dominic, didn't read the question fully. So 309 Tamarisk, Amelia 203, E30 Amelia. The big reason, guys, is the energy effect in here. Tamarisk, again, Tamarisk, I was thinking the furniture will work incredibly well, but out of those two specifically, I would go ahead and I would build out, let's see, so 753. I would build out Amelia first. What if I'm missing Amelia? Honestly, Vincent, if you're missing Amelia in there, you could go with Leonardo. Leonardo does a lot of crowd control. When does Joan get the immunity? I believe it is through the furniture. I believe it is through the furniture that Joan gets the immunity. If I'm not mistaken, it's through one of them. She gets an immunity right at the very beginning of battle. Let's see if we can win this one. When she comes into combat, and that's why a lot of players do run Joan front line. If you've seen a lot of different formations, a lot of players do run Joan front line because of the immunity. Let me see. Where's Joan at? Joan's usually used in formation. She's right here. So the immunity comes for right here. For the first 3 seconds of battle, Joan of Arc is immune to all damage and converts them into the protection value. The plus 20 signature item right here gives her the immunity. And then, of course, the plus 30 gives her a little bit of the damage mitigation. Joan has to have that immunity, guys. If not, Joan will literally just get crushed in formations. Oh, what's going on, Mystical Tree? Happy birthday. Hope the new pet is like the CO. That would be awesome. So overall, Major, the pet doesn't do as much damage as we're seeing kind of with the broken seal, but the pet provides a lot of crowd control and also that charm ability, which is going to be huge. It is going to be absolutely huge within there. I think the new pet is going to be another one that with the pet resonance, guys, it's easy to build the pets. If you have 9, if you have 12, if you have 15, wherever your pet resident is, when they drop a new pet, you instantly get that level. It's a Father's Day today. Yeah, today's Father's Day, Javid. Yep, it sure is. So happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. If you have kids, if not, happy Father's Day to your father. We're going out to dinner in a little bit. That's why we're doing the live stream a little bit earlier this morning. That way I didn't want to miss it, guys. And look at that, the awakened version of Belinda just crushing stages in here. 61 billion right there. Look at the pet. Boom, 1.12. Usually does more. I'm still trying to get the slumbering seal built up quite a bit. This one is, look at that. Mulan, 52 billion from Mulan, 67, of course, right there from Scarlet, 46 still. Guys, a lot of players still question Lucretia. Lucretia is still super, super strong. As you can see, guys, we have Matria in there, and then the awakened version of Athalia. This one is Rem, 77 billion. But look at Amelia, 37 billion. A lot of players said Amelia doesn't do any damage. And then we have 67 billion right there from Belinda as we continue going through 49, guys. We're going to continue through here. Like I said, this gives me the ability to answer questions and actually talk to you guys while we let these combats just run through here. I hope the Mauler is another Aziz, so it's one less. Yeah, I don't know, Jasper. I feel like with the awakened version of Sophia, they learned from Aziz. I would be honestly completely shocked if Lilith brought or built another really, really crappy awakened hero. Because of course for them, a lot of it is money. With the new heroes, with a lot of AFK Arena, with the drop of a new hero, the cost to build out the new hero is very, very high. So again, I don't see them actually going through and building another Aziz hero that doesn't have any utility at all. I think there's going to be a lot of utility between these heroes. Pet Residence, so much fun that the last slot needs to be consistently avoided. At this rate, I'm going to have level 18 before Blade Ridge makes 12. Yeah, Shadow. So I build them in succession. So I literally stop them at the point of building them. And it works incredibly well. And this one, again, just a little bit of RNG in here, but we'll let it run till it will. What's Amelia's main build? Amelia needs a plus 30 signature item. I believe 30930 is the build for Amelia. I don't think you need to take her any higher than that. She doesn't need the 60 engraving. Some players say it's really good to have the 60 engraving. I don't like the situational aspect. Is what it is. That's what I'm thinking, Ben. Is if I could see it being, yeah, the Ainz 2.0, the Belinda 3.0. We'll have to see what's going on, Little Slayer. So in the past 2 weeks or so, I've gotten Amelia, Demia, Awakened Athalia, all to Ascended, adding Rem to the group. Yes, that's the problem, Shady. So literally, the way that I do it, the way that I tackle it, the way that I build the heroes out on here, similar to what Shady said, you have a lot of heroes to build in a very short amount of time, is I literally go through and I prioritize the heroes. I have a list. So I go through, the tier list that I put up a couple different places. I go through the list and just literally build, and I think this is the same formation we had. We'll just get the RNG to work. I go through and I just make a list and say, hey, this hero is going to 60, an E60 plus 30, 99 furniture, whatever it may be. And I stick to the list regardless of who is released, regardless of what heroes come out, regardless of everything, guys. You have to stick to the plan to actually make progression in here. Now there is 710. We're almost on 750, guys. We have made a lot of progression, 749 right now. Yeah, absolutely, Shady. Just stick to the plan. That is it. That is the way to do it. Father's Day plus 1 year with my girl and kid together. Oh, nice, Major. So is it the first Father's Day? I have a question. Do you have a video on how to play Temple Rift in a correct way? I went over, so with the teams, a lot of them, of course, are the Awakened heroes with the teams. But overall, to play it, you have to go through and see which really team you're fighting. So that's one of the big things. Yeah, I can do the new Temple Rift. That way we can kind of finish it out. And I know AFK free to play puts out a lot of the free to play guides, where mine might not be as free to play intensive, but overall you have to pay attention when you get to the higher levels on the teams you're fighting. That is really one of the really big things, is the teams that you're fighting that are super difficult to go through there or make progression, because a lot of formations you have to swap out, and you have to swap a lot of the formations on a regular basis, just with the heroes that we have. Yeah, I'll put something out. I'll try to get something together a little bit today. I'm also off work tomorrow, because tomorrow's Juneteenth here in the United States. So it is an official federal holiday for Juneteenth. So I'll have a little bit of time tomorrow. My kids are out of school, however, so I'm not sure what we do have going on. How good do you think Trisha is? I don't think very well, Cream. So I really do not think that Trisha, so far, we're not seeing a lot of impressive results as of right now. What is the highest level you can get your heroes? I think the cap is around 900. If don't quote me, guys, but I think it's 900 plus at this point. Revived which is kind of crazy because you get 5 levels for each hero. But I think having everyone built out, I believe my resonating crystal's at like 870 something right now, which is kind of crazy. Makes the game totally unplayable if you have either wait a year. Yeah, it's just the tries. You'll hit a wall, Shadow, and you won't be able to go anywhere. Does Oden's 60 engraving make a difference? Yes. Oden's 60 does make a really big difference because that gives him the ability to scale. That is really the big one. Almost got my SP Solus. Who should I go to next? So with the Awakened Heroes, guys, after building the Awakened version of Solus, I would recommend building Belinda, the Awakened version of Belinda. 925. There we go. So 925 is the current cap, which again is just kind of absolutely crazy. With the Awakened version of Solus, I would build up some cards depending on how many cards you have. I would wait to see where Sophia comes in. With the Awakened version of Sophia, she could be an Ainz 2.0, a Belinda 3.0. She might replace a lot of the formations where we're seeing the Awakened version of Belinda. She's not going to replace her in her entirety, but we're going to have to see exactly where the hero falls in the tier list. That's going to be one of the big things, is where the hero actually falls within the tier list. If you already have the cards ready, if you have those time emblems already ready, I would go ahead and build out the Awakened version of Belinda because we know everywhere that she is being utilized and we know where her utility really does fit in. Let me make sure, and again, with the Thorn Cheese, I always make sure that our gear is set, which is good. We're set there. This is just the RNG comp. That will get it done. Is the usage of borrowing heroes new to the guild's fight? No, it's not, JJP. So you've been able to borrow heroes. So we've been doing this kind of forever. Within the guild bosses, you can always use the borrowed heroes. But also when it comes to the Temporal Rift, Nightmare Corridor, things of that nature, borrow the one hero and borrow the one Awakened hero you don't have. That's what I have always done, guys. If you look back probably over almost the last 2 years now, which is kind of crazy. We have spent a lot of time borrowing the Awakened heroes that I don't have. For a majority of time, I didn't have the Awakened version of Baden until we did the swap. I borrowed Baden every single week to use him within different game modes, which made a really, really big difference. My Seal 9 are both almost 13. Blade Ridge is 9. See, now I would have went to 9 first, Shadow, and then kind of went up from there. Thanks for all the videos. You helped me. I have a question. Should I use my lab coins on Garrison or buy Joan of Arc and Arthur? So what I would do, Mustafa, is I would get Joan, and then I would go Garrison. So the big thing with that, so the question was, should you use the lab coins on the Garrison or Joan? Now, Joan is an absolute priority, but when you look at the other heroes within that game mode, and I think we got Thorn Cheese to work, but when you look at the heroes in that game mode, Joan of Arc is a priority within a lot of formations. After Joan, I would Garrison Albedo. And right now, out of the Garrison, guys, Albedo is the number one priority because of the way that she works in correlation to the dimensional heroes. I would absolutely build out Albedo after I got Joan. When you look at Arthur, when you look at Baba Yaga, when you look at Wukong, there's not a big priority to build them out at all because they don't have a lot of utility. Arthur, I feel like, has a little bit more than Baba Yaga. But again, I would build out Joan. I would get Joan, and then I would go to the Garrison. If you don't have heroes built, you just need to rely on beacons heavy. Yeah, and that's it. So even within the game mode, within the Temporal Rift, guys, you still have quite a bit of time left. It's just the beacon. How are you supposed to pay attention? What in a fight if the entire game doesn't make sense to other players? Not sure what you mean, Shadow. Yeah. Or what is the best setting? So the only setting you need in the Temporal Rift is the beacon. Let me see, is this the last one? I think we might have one more. So within the Temporal Rift, guys, building out the first beacon is it. That is all you need. Even on my free-to-play account, I went through and I just, the one beacon, the only one beacon that you need is the very first one. I forget what it's called. But yeah, there's literally one formation you need, and that's it. That is really it. Must get Joan. Yeah, exactly, Jasper. That is my thought. Get Joan, because again, Joan is a hero that you're not going to garrison, but you absolutely want to have. Now this one you have to be careful with Granite, because which I'm going to remove that. We want to make sure Granite dies so this petrify works. We could put the artifact on him, but again, not going to make a huge difference. If this doesn't work, and again, this formation's a little bit of RNG. If Granite dies and petrifies before we have Lucretia, it works well. If it doesn't, then this one doesn't work. Do you want to fight? Yeah, that's the problem that I find, Shadow. And that's where, again, when I was talking about switching out formations or changing out formations, you have to be very, very conscious of the heroes you're fighting. It is very tough. I got 400 ready for Awakened Sophia, but I want to see, yes. And I recommend that, like what Ben just said, guys, is the way to do it. If you have the cards, if the new Awakened hero comes up, wait. Pause for a minute, wait. See exactly where the hero is being used, guys. I don't want you to use all of your resources on a hero that is not going to make a big difference, or you're not going to find a place to use her, or we might have an Awakened hero that falls kind of in that, you know, A, B tier. And there we go, guys. Lucretia got it done. Just took the RNG to knock out another boss stage. And we will continue going through here. So no res. There we go, 713. So we're level-wise, we're quite a bit ahead, which is good. Do you want... I got 400. Yep. I've been playing 2 months, chapter 32. That is awesome, the dream. 2 months, chapter 32. That is good. Normally, progression that high would take about 6 months, is what we've seen kind of on the regular, with a lot of updates and changes. And honestly, heroes to AFK Arena, they have made it incredibly easy to make progression in content. It goes through really quick. Question about the Rift. Is there a difference about the seal colors you receive, and how important is the better color seal? So the seal colors you receive, do you mean like the subsets? The subsets come in 3 rarities, Shady. I think that's what you mean. Let me take a look at the Rift. So in here, guys, we went, I think I'm on like 3.0. Where are we at right now? So I'm on 303. So that is where and I think you mean defense with these. I think this is what you're meaning, Shady. Let me know if this is what you're meaning. These come in 3 different rarities. So they come in the blue version, the purple version, and essentially this version. These make a really big difference. That is why when you auto battle through here, so there's the green version, and then there's a blue version, and then I believe purple, and then maybe this is the legendary version. But these make a really big difference. Those subsets, or the subs in there for those badges, do make a big difference. That's why, like I was saying, when you auto run it, it will choose them. It does choose them out of there. What's going on, Alex Gamer? I'm on 4130, totally free to play. What is so the Thorin cheese is when you just stack everyone around Thorin and let Thorin's retaliation ability work. That is why you'll see it in formations. They call it a cheesy formation because if you guys haven't been playing AFK Arena for a while, the Thorin cheese was what really broke the Temple Rift. It is what made AFK Arena or Lilith put in caps for the combat rating caps. That was the Thorin cheese. That was the Thorin cheese, and the Thorin cheese doing in its entirety. You could just cheese stages forever. It was kind of crazy that you could kind of go through. You could go through stages forever utilizing that Thorin cheese. Portal the portal party is not used anymore. So what happened essentially with the portal party is a lot of the heroes either got kind of phased out with the power creep with the portal party, or we found a lot of different formations that work better than the portal party, where breaking Oden into a formation did work well. Putting Pippa in the Thorin cheese did work well. The portal party, again, what was kind of a shorter lived formation, but overall not really a lot of utility anymore. Yeah, that's an old formation. Does the Celestial or Hypoton Tower get 3 teams? No, it does not, Kraken. Nope. There is only 2 in the Celestials and Hypogean Towers. I believe at this point of AFK Arena, it does not go. It does not go to higher towers. I believe that is it. Is the 2 teams. Your power increase in microscopic amounts. That's the name of the game, Shadow. It's the power increasing over time. That's it. That is the way this game is built. That is the way all of these gacha games is built. It's the time, the effort, the return. Over time, you're never going to be the top. You're never going to be the top unless, like Julius and a lot of other players, unless you're putting tens of thousands of dollars in here, you're never going to be in the top. Even for me personally, with what we put into AFK Arena, I try to make it in the top 20%. That is right, guys. Based on what I spend in AFK Arena, we're still looking and trying to get into the top 20%. And that's it. That's really what we're looking for. What about the Challenger coins? So Challenger coins, I would build, and honestly, when you look at the Challenger store, the Dimensionals are first. The Dimensionals are the big priority because, of course, with the Dimensionals, it's 1 million tokens, million Challenger coins, and it is done. That makes it incredibly easy. It is done at that point. With all of these Celestials and Hypogeans, they take a lot more, Mustafa, to actually build because you need so many more copies of them. It makes it a little bit harder. I would build out Merlin would be the first choice, followed by probably either Mulan or Leonardo. Both of them have a lot of utility within the game. A lot of people say to build out Leonardo because of the crowd control, which can work, but Mulan requires quite a bit of a higher build. That's why, again, a lot of players do choose out the second one within the Challenger store to build out Leonardo da Vinci. Allergies in here are still kicking my butt here in Michigan. We went from cold last week to hot this week to cold to hot. It just literally goes back and forth. In the Nightmare Court, I have to choose between twins or the cards for Celestials and Hypogeans. I would honestly go with the twins, depending where you have the twins built up. So you want to get the twins to the point of being ascended and also having the furniture. The engraving on the twins is now pretty far down the road. I really wouldn't, I really wouldn't build out the twins much further than that. But if you get them up through that game mode, up to that ascended level, because remember, guys, if you're getting a copy of the twins out of there, you're saving roughly 50 to 70 cards, which is kind of the equivalent for the game mode. You want to make sure, again, that you're building out the twins. It works incredibly well. What's going on, Peter? Yeah, trade enhancer. That's it. Thank you, Sita. Within the Temporal Rift, you want to get the trade enhancer. That's all you need. That is all I run on every single account that I have, is just the trade enhancer. Nothing else. I haven't played in 2 years, and I have Shamira on 1 star. Should I keep building her or not? No, if you haven't played Dr. Milky, welcome back to AFK Arena. Shamira, unfortunately, doesn't have much of any utility at all anymore. You could build out Damon. You're in 27, so so you probably have no Awakened heroes either. The Awakened version of Belinda is the best if you get a single copy of the Awakened version of Solus. You're coming back after a long break, and I'm sure the game looks incredibly different. I mean, honestly, thinking about it, there has been a lot of changes at that point. The best seal is Sworn to Death. Prioritize it over every other seal. Yeah, there's a couple in there that are really strong. I got my REM to 35,961. I'm still missing tier 3. It'll get there, Peter. So the gear, when you're looking at the tier 3 stones, the tier 4 stones, things like that, Peter, the gear doesn't have an absolute incredible effect. The gear is a kind of a nice to have, but functionality wise from the heroes, without having the tier 3, tier 4, they'll work well. They will work they'll work perfectly well without anything else. I'm having trouble choosing who to go from the Challenger store. I have Aziz, I have 9 of 9, I have Athalia, and I know that her signature item. Honestly, when you look at the Challenger store, if you already have Kazi, if you already have the dimensional heroes, I would build out Zolrath. Zolrath is another hero, guys, that still has a lot of utility in game modes, which is the reason why I would build out Zolrath. Zolrath still does work incredibly well. Yeah, it is good. Is really good. I don't have Mulan. Who should I go for? I would go for Mulan. Like I was saying, Kazi, is with the dimensional heroes, once you have the hero built, that's it. You have the hero, you are good to go. Not really a big driving force, because again, the Celestials and the Hypogeans take so much time to build. Played for a long time, never looked at Reddit or something outside of the game. I learned a lot from my guild. Getting into a guild. Yes, Midnight's Oblivion, 110%. I really, I really stress that the importance of having a good guild, hands down, to where you can ask for advice, you can get good quality advice, and also the ability to help in events. And I mean, there's so much to be said about having a good guild. That's why I've said in here for a long time, I feel like Lilith is missing the boat when it comes to guild events. You know, we used to have guild wars. We used to have a couple other things that were very dependent on the guild and the guild aspect that they really don't focus anymore. What's going on, Winnie? Thank you for joining me. Does Leonardo require a lot of investment? No, Leonardo doesn't. Leonardo can have the 209 furniture, the plus 20 signature item, the 909 furniture. Really needs the big the furniture. The furniture with Leonardo is the big thing, guys. That is the one that amplifies the damage for him. That is the big one. And of course, I know Javid hates the Charmazard, but this just takes time. If we can get it to click, and also providing some crowd control down there from Khazard, we can get this one done. Can I read the last chat? Yeah, let me see what was up there, Peter. I think you said that Rem was missing the stones. That's what I'm seeing, Peter. Thank you for all the tips. I've achieved the title and treasure scramble for the first time. Oh, very nice, Yoga. Maui Yoga and Wellness. That is awesome. Treasure scramble. They made it. Got the title in the treasure scramble. Yes, that is amazing. How far did you get in the Temple Roof? I pushed to 300. In the big thing with that, Winnie, is pushing to 300 is where you get the loot. If you go north of 300, it is just time. I don't have time. I don't have that much time to go through and put a lot of time into it, especially because when you get over that 300, there's no rewards. Guys, get to the 300. That is the point you want to get in there. It is going out to that 300. Once you get there, stop. Again, there's no reason to go any further. I think there might be frames, there might be a title, there might be whatever. I am not going to spend my time and effort for no rewards. It's the Lucius dude here. Thank you so much for helping. 36 now after 4 months. Oh, very nice, Samuel. That is awesome. He wanted to build out Lucius. I remember that. And it's funny because a lot of things like that, I do remember that. Big shout out to you as well, Samuel. Thank you. APK Pure needs to update, and it doesn't update. The only thing you might be able to is if you VPN out of the country, Javid. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty tough with the internet if you VPN anywhere else. What do you reckon to the new pet? So the big thing, Ben, with the new pet, the new pet's going to have utility, of course. Drop it in the Beast Resonance, like we have always said. The new pet's not doing a ton of damage, but the new pet also does have crowd control, which is huge. It is big. Michael Dempsey stepped out of a time machine. Yeah. I've been trying to build Frampton for ages, but kept replacing him for new, more better meta heroes. Any advice how to prioritize correctly, even when a new meta hero arrives? So what I do, JJP, and guys, this is really the big thing that I do is, most of you know, I literally have lists. So this is the way that I do it. This is how I do it. I have lists. I make literally written down with my pen priority lists of the heroes, and I rank them on the heroes I'm building. So what I do, and this is again really the general rule how I build out my heroes, is I will I will prioritize one of the 4 faction heroes. So I will build one of the 4 faction heroes, one by one by one. That is the way that I do build them. Number 2, one Celestial and Hypogen hero. So I pick one regular 4 faction hero, one Celestial and Hypogen hero, and one Awakened hero. And that is it, guys. I build them till they are done, regardless of who comes out, because I know the priority, I know where they're at. Literally just going through, and let's see if we can just swap up the formation in here, but going through and focusing on the heroes until they are built to the recommended amount. That's it. And literally, I just go down my list and I just build them out. And see this one, well, they have the Awakened version of Belinda in here. 756, we should be able to pull it out, even though we are a little bit lower. Let's see if this one will work, guys. We'll see. But that's it. So again, regardless of who comes out, I just go through and I build them one by one by one, just literally going down the list. And this is a pretty interesting with the Awakened version of Belinda over here. Again, we're only a couple levels on this. Let's see if we can get this to work. Shout out to the Yum family. Very nice, Oblivion. Yeah, Rem is broken. Crescio is a hero, guys, that the higher that you build out Crescio, the better he's going to perform. He is one of those heroes that you want the 309 on him, but again, the higher that you build out Crescio, the better he's going to perform. If you want damage dealers in AFK Arena to essentially do damage, you have to build them out, and you have to build them out high. That is really one of the big things, guys. The higher that you build out your damage dealing heroes, the better they're going to perform, period. It's well known. That's it. The higher, and look at that, guys. Even on this side, the Awakened version of Belinda gets it done just like that. Yes, I know, Javid. That is why I said it. I know Javid hates the Mahira comp even more than the Thorn Cheese, which I didn't know was possible. But boom, look at Kren. Kren still has a lot of utility, guys. I like Frampton. I like Brutus. The Maulers in here still doing incredibly well. I didn't build E60 Zorath for fun. Now Charizard actually runs stable. Yeah, the Zorath will kill out heroes pretty quick. Which support artifact? Taking to 5-star support artifact. Honestly, it depends what you use, Shady. There's no real big priority. I like the strings, the Oceanic strings, as I believe the first one I took to 5. Is building the furniture for Rem 18, so I get that haste. So the big thing with that, Peter, is if you build out Rem, the haste is going to be good, guys. Again, the damage dealing heroes, if you're building their signature item out higher, if you're building out the furniture higher, they're going to perform better. That's it. That is by far the damage dealing heroes are going to work much better. The higher you build them, the stronger they are, the better they're going to perform. And again, that's most heroes in AFK Arena. The stronger, the more utility. If you're taking a hero to E30 versus E60 versus E80 versus E100, the E100, of course, is going to exponentially have survivability, damage capabilities, anything like that, just by building them out. I couldn't imagine not using Lucius early game. Yeah, exactly. Lucius early game works incredibly well until you start getting into level deficiencies. That's the big thing. When you start getting into higher level deficiencies, Lucius just gets melted. I have Ainz 3-star level 240, item level 21 he can carry. If yes, what are some strong heroes to support Ainz? Albedo. You have to have Albedo in that formation. Ainz Albedo go together incredibly well. But if you look at Palmer, if you look at Rowan, if you look at even the Awakened version of Solus, anyone is going to support Ainz incredibly well. And Ainz will continue to carry, guys. Ainz is another hero that has an incredible amount of utility. Even though he's a little bit of an older hero to AFK Arena, the utility for him doesn't change. That's one of the big things to note, is the utility for him doesn't change. You might have heroes that have more utility, but his utility overall doesn't go down that much. His utility is still there. And there we go, guys. I believe that is another boss stage. That is right, guys. We are 13 in. And Sono Rez, I can see Sono Rez up there that we're slowly following. Brutus and Zoroath in here. We'll go ahead and let it run. What teams do I use for the Temple Rift? That one guy, I can show you. A lot of my teams are very heavy Awakened heroes because, again, they perform exceptionally well within the game mode. But when we're done here, we can go over there and we can check it out. I have VPN all the time. The day and the hours, the internet is super slow. Yeah, that's okay, Javid. I am super excited to have Javid on the chat, guys. Especially, again, where he's at, everything going on in the world. When people don't hop on, or people essentially to some extent kind of disappear when we don't see them, I get a little concerned, especially with Javid. I've talked to him for, God, it's been years now, Javid, that we've been talking to each other, communicating through Discord and everything else. It is awesome to have you on here. It is really, really cool to see that you're okay, even though you got to get the internet. But at one point, maybe it'll be time to move. I know it's kind of crazy with just everything in the world, guys. It is just a crazy, crazy place out there. Morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm late because I just woke up. Oh, that's okay, Lux. Thanks for joining us. Let me see if I can find another. Yeah, there's a couple different APKs out there. Yeah, that's I know, again, APK Pure is the one that I usually use to make, or to go through and to update the test servers. Let me see where we're at. So 756. I'm pretty close. Couple stages away, but I am okay. I'm always in need of food. What can I do? So the big thing for food, guys, is time. When you look at a couple different game modes, when you look at like the Misty Valley, when you look at farming, the King's Tower is huge for food. Farming within the King's Tower does work incredibly well in that game mode, again, to accumulate some food in there. But there'll be a point where food isn't really as important when you get through, when you get a little bit further. It still does incredibly well. The Awakened Belinda is actually the first hero I would even bother. Exactly, Shadow. So I did the exact same with Scarlet. So before we have the Awakened version of Belinda, I actually took Scarlet's furniture much higher because, again, the damage ceiling cap that the damage dealers really, it makes a big difference, guys. If you're building out some of these heroes much higher, it makes a big difference with the top cap damage of what they can do because of the build. Make a video on which pets are useful in their utility. Definitely, Colo. I can make a pet video. Let me make a note, because a pet video, and then we said the Rift. Yeah, so we got a pet video, and then we got a Rift. Which are the 5 heroes used in the Orthos Taline comp? So Orthos is in there, obviously Taline. Let me see what heroes. I'm trying to think just off the top of my head, because I believe we used Leica in there. And look at this, very, very Cetrana. Maybe? No, she's healing faster. Then we're getting that done. But I think we're on 3. Yeah, I'm not. We'll check it out in just a minute with the other heroes. I'm not recalling over the top of my head, Alex. But the formation has been forever with the original version of Taline, and now we're at the point with Matria actually replacing that original version of Taline with her within that Orthos Taline. I believe Rowan's in there, and again, I'm just kind of remembering. Can you show us what teams you're using for the Cursed Realm? Yeah, I can definitely. I definitely won't reach floor 300. I don't know if I'm doing here. So the big thing, Shadow, is the ability to level up that one, and again, I'm drawing a blank on the Temple Rift. I guess I'm just getting old. The one specific beacon, and I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but that's it. Just pump everything into one beacon. But yeah, I'll check it out in a minute. I want to try to finish these last two stages right here, guys. I can show you my teams, basically give you all the teams, but it's still, yeah, and that's it. So even for me to hit 300, I did a lot of repeats. I did a lot of rewinds. I did a lot of resets going through there. It took a long time to get through there. Awakened Heroes are overall so broken. Yes, exactly. And that's it. Not only the Awakened Heroes, but the other big thing with the Awakened Heroes, guys, is their SP effects. A lot of people, you have to put in or take account the SP effects that they do have, which again adds a whole nother caveat when it comes to the builds with these heroes, because the SP effects in there are huge. I recommend getting the strings first, then Tide Bearer title. Yeah, and that's, like I said, Kazi, that's what I did. I believe the strings, the Oceanic strings was the first one that I had built, if I remember. Free to play gets 240 essence per day, which translates into 1 beacon level every 4 days. That's about it. And that's it, Shadow. And there's a lot of free to play players, including AFK Arena free to play life. That hit 300 over on Reddit. There's a lot of formations over there that are the exact same. That did hit that 300 mark in there. Yeah, the Rift and Riley, I had the same thing. So I went up, I hit like 292, had to reset, have to go through, hit 299, couldn't finish out the stage, had to do the exact same thing, went through and had to reset. Went back through again a couple different times. It was kind of crazy. Out of all the decisions I made in AFK Arena, the decision I regret the most is waiting so long to build Ulna. Yes, Ulna is huge. Absolutely, Lux. Ulna is one of those heroes that is a game-changing hero because of the utility. The utility that Ulna brings to the opposing hero, whether it's Belinda, you know, regardless of who it is, there is an incredible amount of utility that is from Ulna. And I don't know if Thane's gonna get this one to work. I just wanted to drop him in here. And usually multi-target. So if we have Mishka's dogs and we have the immunity in here, doesn't usually work incredibly well in the formation because he has to kill a lot of targets. What's going on, Yoshi? Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Yeah, Rem was already used, David. We used Rem in I believe, the second or third formation. I was thinking that as well. But I believe we already used Rem. Rem was already in the formation. Yep, that's why this one was, again, a little bit different. I would absolutely put Rem in this one, but Rem has already been used. We already used Rem in a different one. Where do you think to rank the seal in pet priority? Seems everyone is saying to get him to 15. 15 is where you'll see him, Shady, doing a lot of damage. So you'll see exponentially his utility going up. And I think in here they have Amelia's E60. Let me look in this one. E60 for Amelia. Yeah, that's why, guys, right there. So the E60, when everyone dies, she comes back right here, goes on a rampage, kills everyone. That is the reason why we're not winning this formation, is because we do not have the 60 in there. That makes a really big difference. So who do we have? Thorn Cheese is the replacement in there. I wonder if... Again, Thorn Cheese. So we are running the Thorn Cheese in here. Let me pop that in here and see. And we know, again, as much as Javid loves the Thorn Cheese, it is in here, which is kind of crazy. Formation's full of Wokus. Yeah, exactly. There's too much in there. Shadow, absolutely. You can't run all of the Awakened Heroes together. It doesn't work. It's actually pretty broke. But Seal, yes, Seal is definitely on the higher priority because of, again, the damage the Seal puts out. See you later, Ben. Have a good day. Change Mulan. Yeah. Like I said, Mulan we can't change. Rem's already done. We're going to have to figure this out. Mats for only one. It's going to cost you probably 600 pulls, depending. Depending, Shadow. Sometimes you get lucky. And that's it, guys. I've said this a lot. When it comes to the polls, when it comes to formations, things of that nature, a lot of it is just RNG. And we see it a lot. It is just the RNG factor. The more summons you do, the luckier you get. There you go. Javid loves the Thorn Cheese, which is hilarious. Before we conclude here, guys, I want to try to get this done, but let me go ahead and I will do our gift memberships. I love doing the gift memberships. It's something that I absolutely love to do. So let me hop over and I will do the gifting memberships. Happy Father's Day again to you guys. We're gonna pop this up and it should just take a minute or two for those gift memberships to go through. So anyone who is in the stream is available for the gift membership. There is nobody that I can assign it to. It goes out to random people within here. Probably would guess it puts out so much damage for Cursed Realm. Yeah, Cursed Realm, they are one of the seal is just broken. It is broken, guys. And look at that. Riley Jasper, Royce S. Simon, and Dark Lucifer was gifted a membership. Congratulations. I love doing the gifting of the memberships. Like I said, guys, it's a way for me to give back to you guys. And I love seeing the little hippos. It is so cool to see the little hippos in there. It is very cool. So I'm going to let this Thorin cheese run. You know what? I think I'm going to come back to this because I wanted to show you the Cursed Realm. I said we'd go through, we'd show the Cursed Realm. So I will go through and I will run that stage. But looking at the Temple Rift. Yep, the Temple Rift. So in here, I will show you the teams that I'm running with right now. Let me see. Let me just exit this. Boom, and I will show you the teams that I am running so you can get an idea. Then I'll hop over to the Nightmare Corridor and I will show you the teams there. I think this might just show them in here. So 6 days ago, 7 days ago. Let's fight. I just want to run through these really quick. That way you can kind of see where we're at. So challenge. All right, so the first team, of course, is the Wilders. So we have Nevi, we have Solus, we have Peanut, and then, of course, Scarlet in here is the damage dealer, and we have Mishka, so we're running a 4-1 combination with the Rock Lizard in here. That way you guys can go review the video after. This one is the Dimensional Comp. So we have Joan, we have Merlin. I believe we have Rem in here in a different formation. Then we have Mortis as a buffer, Brutus, of course, as the crowd control with Blade Ridge up there. This one, we have Rem in here. In this, again, we have a buffer, we have a crowd controller. Thane for the SP effect, and of course the damage with Rem works incredibly well. This one we have Baden, and then of course Knisa and Rook. Double support back here with actually triple support with Hodgkin. And then here, of course, the crowd control that Hodgkin provides. And then the final one, of course, is Olna Belinda, which is super broken. This one, you can have the buffers up here. A lot of players run Rowan instead of running Pharrell, but I love the crowd control aspect that Pharrell actually does. And then within the Temporal Beacon, the only thing you need is Trade Enhancer. This is really the only one that you need to build up is Trade Enhancer. I built these because remember, through purchases, through the temporal feedback, we can actually get a little bit of extra essence in here through the purchases when we're buying everything out of the Noble Society. So we can actually get a little bit more resources out of here for the Temporal Beacon. Now, when it comes to the Nightmare Corridor, let's run through the team comps there really quick. So looking here in the Hellscape, the Cursed Realm, I'm at 16% right now, but looking through the battle history, most of these are pretty set with the Awakened version of Baden. In this one, we have Damon, and then of course Brutus is in here with the crowd control from Savage Souffle. In here, it is Belinda, as the Awakened version of Belinda. And of course, these formations are going to change every iteration. So every time that we go through the Cursed Realm, every time we go through the Nightmare Corridor, they're going to change. The team comps in here are going to change. This one is, of course, Matria. Now, the interesting thing with this, guys, is you'll notice that Matria is running one without a lot of the Hypogen heroes, but also is not running with Orthos in here, which again, in this formation, this iteration, this works incredibly well. Then we have Peanut in here, guys. I have to build up a star a little bit higher. But in here, she is the best in slot, of course, with 5 other Wilder heroes, with Artalis main right over there. And then this is the Demia. So Demia, of course, in here with Brutus works incredibly well, but you can see Amelia doing a lot of damage. Amelia is another hero, guys. I absolutely got to build out quite a bit higher. And then we have the pet in here. Look at that. Almost 1 billion damage from the Slumbering Seal, only at level 13. Working incredibly well. And then the final one is, of course, Scarlet and Grez. Old combination that we ran together forever. And then, of course, the extension of the duration through Khazard, the twins, and Astrilda in there as a buffer, putting us at 16%. Because the Ice Chimera is just an absolute pain in the butt, within that build. So we made a lot of progression today, guys. I am very, very happy with the progression we made. That is a couple more boss stages down, 3 in total. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to set the formations and just let it run. So I'm going to pick a formation in here, always picking one right around my level. So I'm going to go to Thing 771, a little bit higher, but you know what? To go in there with the Thorn Cheese at 771, I'm going to let this run, and then we will go. What is the build for Amelia? The 30930 is good. That is where I run Amelia at right now. The plus 30 signature item is really the big thing in there. Because of the energy regeneration from freezing them. Artifacts don't make a difference in there. Yep, the artifacts are not in there. They do not include the builds in there with those artifacts. It's actually better than I thought I can do. Yeah, and that's it. So Kazi, what I do is I go through and I build out every formation in its entirety that I can build out. And this is, again, for any game mode, even looking at, you know, the treasure scramble, anything of that nature. Go through, build out the formations that you can build, and then from there, then when you go from there, you can fill in anywhere you need to. That is really the big thing, is you can fill in anything else that you need to within those game modes, just based on the builds that you have. And here, again, this is back to the Charizard. Again, I'm just gonna let it run. I'm not even too worried about it. Sorry, guys. Again, happy Father's Day to you guys, for you and your fathers. If you're a father, happy Father's Day to you. Thank you guys for joining me for our stream for today. Again, this I'm just going to go ahead and let run. Got to get ready. We got some plans for this afternoon with all of the other fathers, including my father-in-law, my brother-in-laws, everybody else that is fathers within there, so we can relax, take a day off. Enjoy your day, guys. It's very cool. Again, thank you guys for joining me for the Sunday live stream. I look forward to it. Even on holidays, guys, I love coming in here and being able to chat with you guys and being able to go through, play some AFK Arena. It is really cool. So, all right, guys, so that'll do it. The hour goes by really, really fast. But again, that'll do it for the live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. And as always, thank you guys for watching.